I want to just highlight that what John mentioned in our most immediate plans are more southern Warren County, but one of our big goals is to send a message that we want to work with every township, every municipality. This effort that you're doing, Hague, Bolton, Lake George, we think is just fantastic. We're total support of that. And then you'll see on our maps, I think we touch every township with those road maps. Okay. So we have long-term plans as well as short-term plans. Thanks to Bud and Joanne Maddox, we have had safety education messages through the newspapers, on our website. We support the ongoing, and this is something we created, the Cornell Extension Office School Safe Bicycling Program, and so on. PSAs in the local media have been helpful, and we hope to really significantly improve those safety messages. We just need to raise a little more money, put a bunch of change in our budget so that we can really get the message on safety out there to bicyclists and motors. That's a big goal. Rules of the road, we thank, I think Jeff Tennyson, I don't think I'm wrong at this, but the Share the Road signs that have been added to the more heavily biked roads are very helpful. They're a great reminder, and we appreciate those. Kathy Barney from Creating Healthy Places to Live, Work, and Play, they had a nice project recently. You're going to know about it as soon as she talks about it.
Yeah, we helped with the education. We're trying to get more people out biking, but we want to make sure that the roads are safe for them. So I hope that you've seen on the Glens Falls transportation buses on the back of cars a Share the Road campaign that we're doing, showing a bicycle, pedestrian, and motorists all in bright colors, you know, that everybody shares the road. This is something we distributed over 1,000 bumper stickers, and we had probably 385 people take a pledge, signing that they would share the road with the other modes of travel. We hope to repeat that again in the spring and upcoming spring, and hopefully we'll get the message out that everybody belongs on the road.
Thanks. We really appreciate Bird Organization and their support of our endeavors. Okay, I'm going to move quickly on the rest of this. We have supported every ride that we're aware of by attending, being there, handing out maps, plus putting every event that we're aware of on our website to let people know about bicycling events in our county. We've collaborated with the Feeder Canal Alliance and Champlain Canal Pathway, and with, hopefully connecting to the Warren County Bikeway. There's another one of those connector plans that's in the making. You've read about the Champlain Canal Bikeway. I mentioned we're working with the city of Glens Falls, very excited about that, and I'm really pleased that Ed Bartholomew and Amy Collins have been so open-minded and invited us in. One of the goals that David Legg, who's the chairman of our roads committee, he's from Lake George. David is probably the best example of bicycling as an alternative means of transportation. I believe he bikes more than he drives his car, and he's older than I am, I think. That's pretty old. But that's amazing what David does. He's one of the best bicyclists around here. And he said, let's work with the county, and Jeff Tennyson agreed with this, and Paul Butler agreed, to do what John was talking about with the signage up and down the bikeway. David used an expression like this should be the main thoroughfare for bicyclists, and as they come to our county, or even in our own residents that don't realize the important places they could go to for shopping, historical sites, points of interest, the library, the parks, etc., the museums, that those signs be along our bikeway. Now, we don't want it to look like, a sign every 10 feet or something. We want it done classy. We want it to not be overwhelming. We just want to help provide people with the information. This is the kind of thing we learned from the Parks and Trails New York group that shared with us the pamphlet booklet, Bicyclists Bring Business. The statistics in that, and I shared that with many people. You can get a copy from Parks and Trails New York. The statistics of the states that have really gone overboard and been aggressive and positive in developing bicycle trails and safe trails. The city of Detroit, for instance, Chicago, I'm sorry, They were just recently written up. Oregon is a leader. Colorado's a leader. But they're great examples of what we can do in our area. The rest of the information you can read. Our fundraiser, we ran our first one quite successfully in November, December of last year. We'll be repeating that, hopefully doubling the number of contacts. I misquoted. Stewart's Shops gave us a nice donation, and that was a donation. That was not a grant application. Under the liaisons at the end of our report, the Champlain Valley Heritage Network should be added. That's a federally funded group that asked us to attend a meeting, and they've done some significant, beautiful maps of the two counties to our north, and now they're talking to us and working with us. Okay? So, that's our accomplishments. You have the mission statement. Let me talk a little bit about the reports of the Citizens Advisory Committee. Every township, every municipality, the city has a representative on our Citizens Advisory Committee, plus our officers. We've met a couple of times, very difficult to find a date when they all can make the meeting. So what we are offering, see, that's our link to you. How do we know what you want if we don't have that link? Somebody letting us know. And you know, you can do it any way you want, but we were hoping the Citizens Advisory Committee, with your reps, would do this. We also say we will be willing to go to a town meeting or to meet with any of your leaders, and especially your highway people. Because when we talk about the off-road trails, those are the most difficult to get permission to map. But we know there are municipalities, I know Chestertown, North Creek, some others are looking into developing trails. And as a member, since we're a member of the International Mountain Bike Association, we can actually get experts to come in if we just cover their expenses and help us develop mountain bike trails, to plan them and so on, especially the single tracks, okay? So, I just bring to your notice that this Citizens Advisory Committee, the members, and you have the list of the people, if you will communicate with them and let us know what you want us to do. I haven't had a lot of luck having a meeting where they all attend, which is, you know, that's a lot of people to try to all give it one meeting, especially at 7 o'clock at night after everybody's put in a day's work. So, as quickly as we could, that's our information. And if there are questions, comments, I take them now.
Any comments? Ron?
Well, first of all, I can't say enough about the work that everyone's doing in this whole subject area. It's just wonderful, and I think that when you look at our infrastructure, you know, take the steamship to Bolton and bike the north end of the county. Get on the train and go to other places, other towns up through the county, and bike for a day or bike for a week or whatever. And I think the more we link up all these intermodal areas and these physical areas, we begin to develop an infrastructure that's really the best anywhere. And I think it's Centurion and those kind of events, and we had many, as you know, throughout the year, introduce people to our area. I think it can only build, and I congratulate all of you on all of your work. It's just been tremendous.
Thank you. We appreciate your work too.
Fred?
Yeah, I would second that. I think it's very important, especially for the north end of the county, to develop these trails. I'm familiar with the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, and they've really made it a major economic engine there. And I think the same thing can be done here.
You know, we look at that area in Vermont, and that's one piece of property, big piece of property, but it's one piece of property. We would like to have people around the country think of Warren County as similar to that.
Just like to thank you, Lloyd. I walk the trails probably 3 or 4 times a week. I live on Hunter Street in the city, and if you pick the top 5 or 6 issues where there's a significant reservoir of public support, it would be for biking and having a place for non-motorized participants to share. I think you'd find that to be in the top 5 or 6 of issues where the average taxpayer in this county would say, you know, you don't do a lot of things right, but you certainly are doing this one right.
Thank you.
Any other supervisors? All right. Thank you, Lloyd. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. I hope we didn't take too much.
All right. Thank you. Okay.